building tomorrow's church today. We always have to build the tomorrow's church, because as a leadership is about tomorrow. What we are enjoying today is what our forebears planted. That is the fruits that we are enjoying. We also need to consciously build tomorrow's church today. And we need to build it to be strong, because we said that the church has an opposition in the devil, and that we need to build it to be strong, to be able to answer questions, meet needs, and solve tough problems. We need to build the church to be strong. Any church that wants to grow must be evangelistic in nature and pursuit. Any church that wants to grow must be evangelistic in nature and pursuit. I believe in discipleship, but if you want to disciple all of us, by the time you finish discipling all of us, Jesus would have come. So let's disciple, but let's go out and fetch some people. By the time you finish discipling all of us, many have died and gone to hell. Any church that wants to grow must be evangelistic in nature and in pursuit. The church should be itinerant in nature and in operation. We must move in and out in nature and in operation. All her members should do the work of an evangelist. All of us, including the pastor, the apostle, the chairman, we should do the work of an evangelist. When we traveled outside recently, I got so excited in my spirit, because the young men have moved on. You see, they have looked at the PIWCs in Europe, and they see that this is not the type of church that will actually bring in the indigens. So they've moved on, and they are building what they call city church. But if you look at the concept of the city church, it is what the PIWCs is meant to do. That is the concept. But you see, they are looking at how we are doing PIWCs even in the diaspora, and they think that they have to move on. And my heart gladdens, because we used to fear, and we wondered how we were going to win the indigens. But these young men, these second generation people and the third generation, they don't fear the white face, because they have sat with them in the classroom. They are their friends, and they are winning them in droves. Now, if you want to build a strong church, you must watch what you continuously do, and do it well. There must be some consistency in what we do. Then I like this one. Process is working in particular ways to achieve an end. You need to work in particular ways, otherwise you don't achieve the end. If you just do church, you may not reach your target. Are we together? Are you here? Fine. Now shall we read together? Building a strong and lasting church should not be a reaction to changing trends. It must be designed. Yeah. If you want to build a strong and lasting church that will spread, it must be designed. You see, in PIW, sometimes we react to trends. The young people will come, and then the choir. These days, choir, white dress. Soon, white dress. If choirs in America move to yellow dress, yellow dress. And if there is some song that is really hitting, they will all learn it. Just reacting to trends. We will not get to our destination. We ourselves should sit down, survey our society, look at who and who we can win, but pay attention to what they are saying, and then have to sit down and design something. You see, sometimes we just church, but if you really want to church, we must be careful how we church. Yes, even where we situate our church buildings. Where we situate our church building. To build a very strong PIWC, the location is just like locating any other industry. The location must be good. It must be well accessible. And so we must locate it very well. And then let us go to our website. If somebody has just landed from Canada and he is a good Christian, he wants some church to visit, Will he, by going to our website, be attracted to come here? Now, if we have to work in particular ways, young men who are gifted in this IT should be put together and they should man our sites, make it the best in the world, so that through that we will be able to get to people. Please, we need to work in particular ways. We need to design it. We have to look at the length of service and the quality of it. But it's not just about the quick thing. It must be quality. People must leave church meeting God. Shouldn't be that because we are cleared up 2 hours we are done. 2 hours no problem. 2 hours is long period. See, if you be in church for about 3 hours, what that means is that you would have played 2 football matches. That is how long it is. So 2 hours should be enough, but it must be quality. It must be quality. People should desire to come to church again because of what they experienced last week. Colossians 4 verse 5. Are we together? Yeah. Be wise in the way you act towards outsiders. Make the most of every opportunity. Yeah. When somehow you see one white man come to church, hey, yourself, change everything to meet his need. Because we need him to be kept in the church, so that through him others like him will also come around. There are so many Christians here who have come here in Ghana, working expatriates. They want churches to attend, but who will give them space in their church? Too much noise. Too much noise. So let us move on. This is our church in Cyprus.
We aren't masters. At Church of Pentecost Cyprus, we don't just talk the talk, we walk the walk. We aren't masters, but we are striving daily to achieve and accomplish what Jesus has commanded us to do. We want to make room for everyone, so we'd like to show you how we are going about achieving this.
So in our attempts to build a multicultural church, we decided to use the following 5 questions as a guide and a framework which informs our thinking and our actions. The first question for us was, who are we trying to reach? Who are we trying to reach? This probably is the most important question out of them all. Then the second question for us was, once we know who we're trying to reach, where will we find them? Where will we find those people? Then the third question for us is, how will we get them in? How do we bring them to faith? How do we bring them into our fellowship and into our community? Then the fourth question for us is, when they come in, how do we keep them? How do we keep them? How do we ensure they keep coming back and they belong to this community? Then the fifth and final question for us was, how do we grow them? How do we grow them in faith once they come and they belong? So with all these questions answered, the next thing for us was to adapt our service and make changes to the various departments to ensure that we walked in this framework.
Once Pastor made the vision of the church clear to us, we as the social media team realized that we are the first point of access before people enter the building. The people we are trying to reach are on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We already had a Facebook and Instagram account, so we decided to go on TikTok. We are intentional about the content we post so that we can attract these people into the building. Thank you.
As ushers, we realize that we are the first people that visitors meet before entering the church building. So we decided to be both professional but also welcoming to those entering. We did this by being intentional about the way we dress, wearing name tags, and also being welcoming to those entering. We positioned ourselves by having 2 people at the door, welcoming people and showing them to their seats, and then 1 person designated to mark attendance so that we know who has attended and who hasn't. As a collective, we made it a point to make sure we know everybody's names so that we address them by name and make them feel welcome.
So to contribute to this vision as a music department, we decided we were to be intentional about the kind of songs that we sing. So, and even though this means getting out of our comfort zone to learn songs, even in languages that we are not used to, like in French and in Greek, we decided, or we realized that it was very important to go out of our way, to be diverse enough and to include everyone in the kind of songs that we sing. And so because of this, even our prayer session is structured in a way that includes everyone. So we have a structure that is made up of, African songs, contemporary songs, at least one of the C.O.P team song and a general song, so that everyone can get along as we praise God together. So this has helped us a lot, and I think, yes, it's helping the church.
For the secretarial team, we introduced the welcome pack, which includes the information about the church, the feedback form through which the newcomers can give us their opinion about the service, and the form through which we can capture their details.
During the week, we also call the newcomers to just check up on them and ask them if they have any question and if they would like to be added into the WhatsApp group. Calling them is a way to just make them realize that they matter and as individuals, and we are really happy that they came to visit us into the church.
So with the hospitality team, we decided to include some takeaway in the welcome pack for the new visitors. And also we decided to cook food for the whole church once a month since there are so many students among us.
PENSA started in 2019, and when we caught on the vision at the Church of Pentecost Cyprus, we just knew that we had to step up. So we became more intentional about not just attracting African students, but finding innovative ways to diversify our community. PENSA now consists of members from various nationalities and walks of life, and we've realized by simply inviting our friends to our sessions, events, and field trips, we've been able to change the narrative of what church looks like.
So you don't mind me, I will come next week and I'll give you some space. But you see, unless you shake the foundation, you don't move on. Yeah, I guess sometimes it's a bit disturbed. When our young people, all they like is things from America and Europe. No. Let's emancipate ourselves. You see, sometimes the white people, they laugh at us. When we are saying that the center of Christianity has come to Africa, they laugh. Because they say that what we do there is like what they do in India. Because they come here and everything, the songs we sing are even imported from there. And they laugh. What is the originality? Yeah, that they should also come and learn. Then they are saying that they are more intentional about finding innovative ways to diversify their community. They are talking about the church community. We have to find innovative ways to diversify. So we don't have all Ghanaians here. Let's bring other nationals on board. 18 nationalities. We realize that most of them came to the church because they were invited by friends and church members, families. And then we also saw that people come and join churches and stay for reasons. Yeah. One of them said because of the food. Yeah. And I was happy when they're talking about the vibe and the presence of the Spirit. So we are not just rushing out. There must be that. But I don't want you to plan cooking for us. They are students, and I'm sure it's not a big church. And so, but once a while, you see, when I was at PIWC, we did 4 breakfast meetings on Sunday mornings, and by the 4th time, the place was flooded. Yeah. By the 4th time, the place was flooded. One of them, the first one, we had 72 people giving their life to Christ, joining the church. And then the last one, we had 60 people giving their life to Christ. And then that was all. Then we started moving on. So once a while, on a good Sunday morning like this, reorganize the place. Get more things. Invite people like full gospel. And then preach the gospel of salvation, especially on a Sunday morning like this, and see what God will do. So please design something, and then let's see what God can do. I want to rest my voice here. I'll put a comma here, and I pray that God will give me strength and will also give you strength for us to meet again next week. God bless all of you. God bless you. Shall we rise in prayer? Shall we rise in prayer?
Stand up and tell your story. Stand up and give God the glory. Talk of His amazing grace. Stand up and tell your story. Stand up and give God the glory. Yeah, His presence is in this place.